master this part, you will need this skill. And also, we will learn about speaking part three, some introduction, and also some very common technique to have you, to gain a better result for the speaking part. Okay. Uh, Now, first of all, can you tell me what you know about the speaking criteria? What does an examiner expect you in the speaking room? When you go to the exam room, what does examiner really want to hear from you? Maybe in terms of pronunciation, in terms of fluency, coherence, grammar. How do you know about it?
Um, so I believe that um, they'll be looking at our fluency and then our coherence, our lexical resource, and then our grammatical range and accuracy, as well as our pronunciation.
As well as pronunciation. I see. So in this one, I want you to elaborate on each skill, listening. Sorry, I mean the criteria. What pronunciation, fluency, everything. Do you have the criteria yourself? Do you remember it or you need some time to go through it?
Because I did write it down in my notebook.
Mm-hmm.
So, first, fluency and coherence, as in they'll be looking at how well are we speaking, like so what kind, like there's no any sort of stuttering, that we are not, there's no sort of pauses. Lexical resource is like the words, as in the vocabulary that we are using is like high range vocabulary. Grammatical range and accuracy is like accurate grammar, like the is and are and etc. And then pronunciation is how we're pronouncing the word. So for example, um, it's like woke up, you say as or for example PASSED. Some people tend to say as passed, but it's actually past. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
they look at, the pronunciation.
Pronunciation. So, okay, I got it. So you have like an overall understanding of each criteria. And now I want to know which aim you want in the speaking part. And from that aim, what do you have to do um, to get that score? For example, if you aim for 8, so what do you have to do in terms of fluency and coherence, in terms of lexical, in terms of grammatical range and
Mm,
pronunciation?
so what I can do is I think I can just watch a lot of podcasts on YouTube, I think.
No, I mean the criteria.
Oh,
Criteria. Mm.
that criteria.
You
I'm
remember
not
this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So just now you mentioned the overall understanding, the meaning of each criteria. But so now I just want you to be more specific. So if you want to aim at 8, what do you have to do? I mean, in this part, what do you have to do? Do you need me to send the link again?
No, I actually do have it. Just that I
Hmm.
can't. Sorry, I accidentally left. Uh, yeah, I think I can. Uh, yeah, I think I
So
need it
for this
because
one,
yeah.
hmm, let me just For this one, I want you to review a little bit. So, what you need to do is that you go to this link. I just send you the link.
Okay.
It's the so I rename is the criteria, and now you want to aim score. What do you want? If you want to aim at 7, yeah, please write 7. If you want to aim at 8, please write 8, and then please specify what you have to do in order to get your dream score. For example, fluency. In terms of fluency, you just write down some keywords, not to copy the whole paragraph in the speaking band descriptors. No, you just write down the keywords. For example, I will do for the lexical resource. So first of all, which aim score do you want?
Band 8.
Band 8, yes. Lexical resource. Mm. Maybe so. So can you see the screen? I'm sharing the screen, and if you want to have band 8 at if you want to have band 8, so meaning fluency and coherence, you got A, lexical resource, you got A, grammar, you got A, pronunciation, you got A. So for the lexical resource, in order to get an A, yes, 8 score, first you need to make everything so. So can you read this sentence?
Wide resource readily and flexibly used to discuss all topics and convey precise meaning.
So what do you understand? How do you understand the sentence?
So I believe that so we need to convey clearly what we are trying based on the topic. We need to make sure that what our answers are precise, as in there's a clear meaning of what we are trying to say and is related to the topic that is being discussed.
Yes, correct. So must be precise and related to the topic we are talking about. You know what, Handrina? Last time when I take the real exam, and it's about part three. Part three. Normally, in the part three speaking, the examiner will let me like a long time to explain my answers. But then I remember when he asked me, "How do you think about social media nowadays? How do you think why social media affect advertisement?" He asked that. Why social media affect advertisement? And I was like, well, I have to say, um, this is such a tough question for me, but I think social media, from my point of view, is transformative. You know that word? Transformative.
Changes.
Yeah, it means that it can make something changes, make something change. The word transformative. So, so when I speak that word, the examiner's just like nodding, and then he said, "Okay, that's it. I can move to the next questions." And even it was in part three. I supposed to answer very long one, but no. When I say that word, the examiner knows okay because I think this is because I speak the concise word and it is related to the topic. So sometimes we need to be really careful. We need to be selective using the word. So in this case, not just about one topic, but also you need to cover a wide range of topics. When I talk about climate change, you need to know some vocabulary about climate change. You need when I talk about technology, you need to know about it. For example, when I ask you, mm, for example, when I ask you, how do you think about let me see. How do when I ask you these questions, let's try to answer. Why mm, why do company pay very high salary for the senior managers?
Mm, I think that because they are way more experienced in terms of the um, work given, in terms of the criteria that the company is trying to reach, and senior management are way more experienced in terms of being in that field. They have a wider knowledge on it, so providing them with a higher range of salary is effective due to their um, wider knowledge to that field.
Mm, all right, all right. Yes, you have a point, but I think it needs to be clear, you know. And yeah, you have the point. Yes, maybe you can say like senior managers deserve well paid because they have the experience that is unique in the competitive job market. You understand what I mean? So yeah, that's a good way to answer. And so first of all, for the lexical resource, you need to have a wide range of vocabulary and especially the topic related vocabulary. And the second one you see, use of less common and idiomatic items. So meaning if you use something like beautiful, important, they are very common nowadays, right? So you need to paraphrase or you need to find a synonym that is less common and more about idiomatic. Do you understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. Okay. So, for example, if you stay up late, how can you say if you stay up late? Any
I
idiom
went
for that?
the midnight oil.
Uh-huh. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. So, um, for example, you want to say that I want to start something. Any idioms for the word start?
Mm, start something.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of idioms.
Uh-huh. So you can say get a ball rolling.
Ah,
Get a ball rolling. It's like roll a ball.
oh,
You
it
see?
also
Get
have.
a
Oh,
ball.
they also have like here starts from scratch to begin from the very beginning.
Uh,
A
start from
starting
scratch. Yeah.
scratch can is like starting something new, but get the ball rolling is like to start the work.
Get a ball rolling to start a work. For example, when you go to your workplace and everyone was like, I'm resting, and then you say, okay, everyone, now let's get the ball rolling. Let's make the ball roll. Something like
Ah,
that.
yeah.
So it is more about the idiom and it's very effective. It's very effective in your speaking. So now I'm gonna give you like something like a set of advanced vocabulary I have prepared for you. Let's see, advanced speaking here. Mm. So you see, um, in other words, in terms of lexical resource, you need to know two things. First of all, a wide range of vocabs. And second one, less common and idiomatic
So like
vocab.
in every sentence, like when we are speaking, how often do we need to use the idioms?
The idiomatic, is something like I think we can use like 60%. Not, especially in part two. In part two, when you have a chance to describe something, yes, when you have a chance to describe something, when I study with the 9.0 speaking examiner, he used idiomatic all the time. He used all the time, and he's very skillful at that. But he make everything very, natural. Everything very natural. It's not something like you are thinking, oh, I have now I have 5 idioms. I need to put them in all my speaking. So it's something it doesn't sound natural. But then when you hear somebody like when you hear somebody speak describe something, for example, you want to say that he has a point, and then but he just like speaking over and over around a point, you can say he beats around the bush, something like that. So it's really natural in this case. So but I believe you can do that because you are fluent in this. You can know how to apply these idiomatic items. Okay, let me show you. So I just sent this one. I just sent in the chat box.
Okay,
You see. So
advanced
here
media
mhm, you
and
have
speaking
total.
topics.
Yes,
14.
14 topics. And when you click to each topics, you see you have some future questions here. It's about media and advertising. And the most important thing is this part. You see, topic one, vocabulary here.
Ah,
See,
uh-huh.
when you click into that, all you can have is about vocabulary, is about idiomatic. Here, I think they are all idiomatic items, vocabulary. So you try to take use of the vocabulary, okay?
Okay.
You see, capture the imagination, go down a rabbit hole, make waves, raise eyebrows. So this is all for you. Mhm. Okay, all right. All right, that's about lexical resource. So now for the fluency and coherence and the remaining criteria, can you like just specify in the document, in the docs, so I can see it?
Okay.
Mhm.
Um,
So here's the lexical resource.
so I just have to like type what else is under lexical resource, right?
No, you type because lexical resource I already like have you to write. You have 2 points here. Now you just
Grammatical and pronunciation.
let me no, fluency and coherence, grammatical range and accuracy, grammatical range and accuracy. Oh, I forgot to tell you. You know what, Harina? Um, in about 1 year, we will move to another place. We will not
Okay.
stay in Malaysia anymore.
Oh, okay.
I think just like you, right? You moved to the UK, right?
Yeah, I'm planning to move if I pass the IELTS exam.
If you pass the IELTS and you plan to move. I see. Because my husband just find a job in Wata. You know that
Oh,
place? So it's It's in the Middle East and it's around 7 hour flight from Malaysia.
So it's next year, is it?
Next year after I finish my master program.
Okay.
Mm, alright. Uh, okay, so I just want to say because I think I'm same like you're gonna move to another place.
I really hope that I pass, because after that I wanna have to do my masters, but I don't know if I want to do my masters here or there. Yeah.
I think yeah, if you have a chance, because last time you mentioned your sister is already there, right?
No, she is planning to. She's sitting for the medical. I think the medical Australian medical exam is in 2 years time, but she is like um studying for the exam.
Oh, she studied for the exam.
Yeah, so
What
she's
about
still
your
here.
family? Also,
Everybody is here. But we are
oh,
planning to move, so like my sister is already taking the medical exam, Australian medical exam, so if she
mm,
passed that, only she can go. uh so my brother is still applying to universities over there. He already completed his masters here.
oh,
So I don't know if I want to do my masters there or should I do it here and then migrate there. But for now, I thought of like just pass my IELTS exam, then from there plan what I wanna do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I see that. Oh, it seems your families like are very intellectual. You get what I mean? Like
It's a
smart.
bit stressful because I thought they weren't very serious about this, because we did had this conversation last year of us migrating, but only had the conversation once. So I thought, okay, they are not very serious, and I just left it until I knew they were all like studying and applying. So that's when I was like, I
Mm,
haven't prepared anything, I better start studying for my IELTS. So it's just like a
yeah,
very last minute.
yeah, yeah. Actually, when looking at that, we have some motivation that everybody is so serious about that. They're so focused on it, and then I also
Yeah.
have to try. Okay, yeah, I think you
So
can do it. No worries, I think you can do it. Mhm.
uh so now I just have to type in like
Keywords only in band 8.
okay,
You need me to
okay,
send a link?
uh-huh, yeah. So for
Okay.
grammatical, so for example, under the grammatical range, I say it as like wide range of grammar.
Wide range of structures.
uh,
Yeah, wide range of structures.
and then you see the link. uh, I didn't save it. Okay. So wide range of structures, error-free sentences.
Mhm. Yes, error-free sentences.
And also system basic, few basic errors. Okay. And then for pronunciation, wide range of phonological features. Pronunciation, range of phonological features. Mm, Uh, when they say here sustain appropriate rhythm, what does that mean?
Sustain appropriate rhythm. Yeah, meaning so you have the rhythm and it's suitable with you. For example, when it's I think it's more about emotion and about your personality. For example, if you go to the room and you seem like a very extrovert girl, a girl full of energy. So when you say the rhythm is like it's about high rhythm, it's about something like a lot of energy, and you put a lot of emotion into it. But if
Uh,
you are a kind of girls that like kind, calm, and just like yeah, just like a little bit introvert, and you just say like in in a gentle rhythm, in just like I mean it's like it is appropriate for our personality.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And yeah, because in the room sometimes last time I just my friend, she at the beginning she was quite reserved, and she spoke in a very like very shy way. But
uh-huh.
then when it comes to part three, she realized she knows some information about this topic, and then she started to speak in a different way. And the examiner asked her to be consistent. You know what I mean? Because she is not consistent. So the
Oh,
key point here is that you need to be consistent through all the speaking tasks.
oh,
Hmm.
okay.
Okay.
And then next one is next one is stressing Indonesia. And can be easily understood. Mm. Here they also said accent has minimal effect on intelligibility.
Accent has minimal effect on intelligibility. Let me say this one. I think this one is something like you don't need to have an accent, but then if you have an accent, it doesn't affect how other people interpret your answers, the
Okay.
understanding, you know, because this word intelligibility meaning like being able to be easily understood.
Uh,
Let me see. Wait, wait, wait.
okay, so I just put as
Can be easily for this one you can add
just put
um,
accent. No effect like
accent.
the accent.
Yes, accent does not
Uh,
doesn't affect uh, does not impact the ability. Mm, mm, no. Yes, the ability be be easily understood.
and
Okay,
then for
fluency and
that's
coherence.
fluency and
Um, my
it's
computer
already
is
up
running
there.
out of battery. Wait a
Uh-huh.
second. Let me check the
Okay.
battery.
Fluency, coherence. Mm,
Let me see. Fluent with very rare repetition or self-correction. Correct. Hesitation to find words or grammar. Topic development is coherent, appropriate, and relevant. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Accent are not impacted nearly. So, among these criteria, what do you think? Which criteria are you most confident in?
Mm,
Just a personal questions.
mm, I think the pronunciation and confident. The one that I'm not confident is the rest of the three because um, I tend to make basic errors because I run out of ideas. So sometimes my grammatical words can be incorrect because I tend to run out of ideas on how to develop my idea. Um,
Mm,
and then for lexical resource, also the same thing. I there's like so much of idioms, and as much as I know the idioms, it just doesn't come on that time when I'm actually speaking. It just doesn't click at that time. Um, and also fluency and coherence, especially the repetition. I tend to repeat the words over and over again. Like just now, the question that you asked about the senior management, I kept using the word wider knowledge, because I
mm,
run out. Like again, the same thing. I just run out of ideas at that time. So yeah, so the one I'm very confident is pronunciation. The
pronunciation.
rest can be a bit of a
Mm-hmm. I see. So, from what I observe, I think yes, your pronunciation is good, and also your fluency. You have a really good fluency, like speaking everything without like hesitation. Even though, yes, I do see that you repeat some ideas, but then it doesn't really affect the overall impression. So I think you can impress the examiner with your fluency and pronunciation. But in terms of lexical resource, you need to, cultivate your vocabulary with more idiomatic items. And also maybe you can like try to take use of some grammatical structures, conditional sentence, and yeah, relative clause, something like that. You get what I mean?
Mhm.
Okay, okay, but overall, yes. Now you understand what you need to do, what you need to have in order to get a bit aimed score at 8 speaking. Okay, all right. So now let's move to speaking part 2. Speaking part 2 is one. Let me just share the screen for you. Last time we learned about speaking part 1, right? We already learned about it. You do you remember?
Mm, I think we just like went through like a very generally
Mm. Or
like the
generally,
tense cause and
you remember last time when we talked about the way the answer structure, the general answer structure for speaking part 1? When they ask you some questions, you can answer directly, and then you try to expand your ideas from that answer.
okay, expand.
Yeah, for example, for this one, you see, wait. So you see, last time I asked you about what kind of public transportation do you often use? And then we learn, first of all, we answer directly. I mostly take the bus to get around. Well, I have to say that I mostly take the bus to get around. And then you try to expand your idea from this direct answer. For example, expand with WH questions. Why, when, how.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So now for this one, let's have a look at these yes no questions. Can you read for me the questions and then the two sample answers?
Okay, so the question is, do you often travel by public transport? And then the sample answers first one, yeah, I use public transport quite a bit, mostly the bus. I usually hop on the bus around 7:30 a.m. to get to work, which takes about 30 minutes. The bus stop is just around the corner from my house, so it's super handy, and the buses run pretty regularly, so I don't get stuck waiting for too long. And
Mm-hmm.
next one is, no, I don't really bother with public transport. I honestly don't have the patience for waiting around or cramming into crowded buses when I'm in a rush. It's just easier to jump in my car and head straight where I need to go.
Mm-hmm. So how do you feel about these two answers?
I feel like it's a very, they use a wide range of vocabulary, where they use idiomatic around the corner, super hand, like wide range of vocabulary, super handy, pretty regularly. Buses run pretty regularly. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they also expanded their answers, so they stated why, instead of just saying no I don't. They expanded their answer, like if yes means why, and no also why. So I like the answer how they use like cramming into crowded buses when I'm in a rush. So it's like the vocabulary they use is not like the basic vocabulary, like I don't like to go into crowded places where there are too many people. So that's just like basic vocab. So here they
Mm-hmm.
actually use like cramming into crowded buses when I'm in a rush, or
Yeah.
the it's just super handy around the corner. Bus run pretty regularly. It's very interesting to read it because I really wish I could speak like that.
Mm-hmm. So, in other words, they are able to use less common and idiomatic items, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, which is very important in lexical resource criteria. Yeah, you can see that we have two different ways of answer the questions. If we want to say yes, we first of all we answer directly and then we try to expand the answers, like talking about the time and also describe something, like the bus stop. So how is the bus stop and like how frequent the bus run? So it's like it's very coherent and linked to each other. And in terms of no, they say I don't really bother with public transport, and then you just share something from your personal viewpoint. Yes, so that is exactly what examiner expects in the room. But actually, you don't need to use too much vocabulary in this part, because in this part, the examiner will test first your fluency and coherence, and second, your pronunciation. Two things. But it's not much about the lexical resource because they expect to see more idiomatic items in part two and part three. But in part one, it's just like a warm up. You understand? So for this one, yeah, you can speak like in a very natural way. You just need to sometimes you just need to think about some ideas and try to answer it. But then it doesn't need to be very, it doesn't need to be very perfect on the grammar or the vocabulary. Mhm. So you see, we have like direct answer, reason, alternative, something like this. Okay, so now I want to ask you about these questions. Okay, show my script. Let me see. Hmm, Where is it? Where is it? Okay. Okay, so okay. So do you often travel by public transport?
I do often travel using the public transport. I mostly use the LRT, which is what you call it, the train. And I usually take the first train as I have to head to work early. I prefer taking the LRT due to the cheaper price, as we only have to pay monthly 50 ringgit, which is quite affordable, instead of traveling using car and getting stuck in the jam. It's not usually crowded in the morning if you're taking the first train, hence I don't really find any difficulty in using the public transport. The train comes pretty regularly every 3 minutes, so I do not have trouble of waiting for the train or getting late to work due to the regularity timing of the LRT.
Okay, yes, good. That's it. But then maybe shorten a little bit. Shorten a
Okay.
little bit. Because in this part, you are expected to answer like 2 to 3 sentences only. And then
Okay.
when you like exceed,
They'll just
like,
stop you.
yeah, they will stop you. And they will like, sometimes it just, when you just speak like for 2 sentences, they already stop you. Last time when I just speak, and they say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because so in the time you need to make sure that you speak all the, you try to speak all the nice vocabulary or grammar or some ideas at the beginning. So in order to impress them first, and if they stop, you already say the best things. Okay, so now I wanna ask you about art. Do you appreciate art?
No, I don't, because I'm not really an art person. I feel that there's no basic history behind the art, so I don't feel any connection towards art.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so it sounds quite a bit negative.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah, yeah, but it's about your personal preference, so it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
So they don't really
So,
mind if like negative.
maybe because normally when people are asked these questions, they will normally say, "Yeah, I do have an appreciation for art because I believe that maybe artistic expression is something like a vital part of our culture. So art can, evoke a wide range of emotions and can be incredibly visually appealing, something like that." But if about your personal experience, if you don't like art, you don't need to say that. Mhm. Okay. Have you ever visited an art gallery?
I've never visited, but I would like to visit since I'm really into art. Since it's just a stone's the art gallery is just a stone's throw to my house. I would really like to visit one of these days.
Hmm. Okay, you can say instead of say visit, you can say pay a visit.
Pay a visit.
Mm,
Okay. And
pay a
also I
visit.
use the idiom stone's throw to my house. That's okay, right?
That's okay. Yes, that's okay. Very nice. All right. Next, wait, let me see. Where is it? What kind of art do you like the most?
I'm really into when it's art related to animation, because I find it very cute, and it just actually releases my stress really looking at how interesting the drawing is. So I'm really into animated drawing.
Animated drawing.
I
Yeah,
really don't know
good.
what type of drawings are there.
So maybe animated drawing. So you can say it's like something like the vivid colors, the use of vivid color, some vibrant colors. Because it's animated, so it's very colorful, right? Colorful is very vivid. So yeah,
What
so
if
you
like
said
if it's like it's like related flowers, like drawing, like flower drawings. That one, what do I call it?
flower drawing. Is it an
Mhm.
abstract art?
I think so. Drawing related to abstract, I think.
Okay, so if for abstract art, so you can say the word visually stimulating. You know what?
Visually
Vi-
stimulating.
visually. Actually, you can note
Yeah, I
in
know.
the speaker. Yeah, visually stimulating. Stimulating. Yes, it. Yeah, it's a very nice word. Very appropriate to describe an abstract art. And also, since abstract art is quite unique, so maybe it's really like evoke the thought, like thought provoking. You know that word,
Uh-huh.
thought provoking. Let me just tell you, thought thought provoking, like making people think seriously about something. Thought provoking.
Okay.
Okay, can you try? Can you try to apply it and say it again? Now we talk about
Okay.
abstract art, right? Okay, so let me ask you one more time. What kind of art do you like the most?
I'm really into abstract art. I believe that abstract art is visually stimulating, as it's because it allows people to have like a serious thought behind the drawing. I believe so.
Okay, yes, good. That's it. Mm,
And I
it's
just
okay.
feel like so every time whenever I do speaking, I mean like sometimes I practice myself in the mirror and I read like it doesn't seem right to me and I'm like
You know what? This is a secret. When you come to the exam room, you cannot be yourself. You're like, oh my god, I forgot all the thing I learned. I cannot remember what I learned. So I just like, okay, so now it's just me and the examiner. So I would just okay, just go with the flow. Sometimes it was like that. You cannot feel yourself.
yeah.
And you know what? Normally for English teacher, we try to avoid saying that we are an English teacher because you know what? Because I feel like we will be asked like more difficult questions, more challenging ones. So whenever I go into the room, I pretend to have like another job. For example, last time I pretend that I am a full-time stay-at-home mommy, or sometimes I am an artist, sometimes I am freelance. Yeah, so we try to avoid that, saying that we are a teacher, English teacher, especially English teacher. Okay, so now last questions before we move on to part two. Do you think children should study art at school?
I feel that it isn't necessary to study as not all students are really into art. Since children are still young, they wouldn't really understand the visuals behind the drawing. So I do not think it's necessary for them to learn art at school during their school age.
Okay, so you choose that children should then study art at school. Mm, In this case, if you say that, I think it's better if you say more about the future. But I think in the future, it is necessary for a student to study art. Maybe when we wait for the children to grow up a little bit, then we try to, integrate the art subject into their curriculum because really the arts really helps to foster creativity and develop critical thinking skills. So you can say more about that. Uh-huh. So yeah, okay, that's it. That about art. Okay, so before we move to part two, you will have a 5 minute break. Okay for you?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, 5 minute break. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now let's move on to part two. How do you know about this part two?
I know that we are given 1 minute to prepare, and then we have to speak for about 1 to 2 minutes. We are given a speaking prompts, and then we need to talk. But then it's usually about like a special event or festival that you like. It's usually on that topic. No, I think yeah, I think so. I only know that
Mm.
we are given 1 minute to prepare, and then we are given speaking prompts, and then we need to speak about 1 to 2 minutes.
We're speaking around 1 to 2 minutes. Now it's we have to speak around 2 minutes or above 2 minutes. You know about that?
Oh no, I didn't.
Uh-huh. All right. Let me show you. So you see here. So this is an example. Speaking part two. Describe a foreigner who speaks your language well. So something is about monologue. You have 1 minute to prepare, 1 to 2 minutes to talk. We have four cues, and you need to speak the descriptive language, which is really important because you have to describe something. For example, if you describe a person, you should say about the look, the appearance, and sorry, and how do you know about this person? So, first of all, let me ask you, what are the keywords in these questions?
Mm, um, language who speaks your language, foreigner who speaks your language,
The keywords only. So, first, foreigner.
foreigner
Second,
speaks
speak. Yes,
and
speaks your
language.
language. Speak your language well, right? So this is the keywords. You have to find somebody who is a foreigner and who is able to speak your language very well. So first of all, you need to categorize the keyword. So in this case, you need to describe a person, right? And you see, you see here we have four cues. Can you say which cue is the most important?
Explain why he or she can speak your language well.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Mm, because this is where we need, they want to see whether how well are we able to expand our idea, and then they'll be looking at all the four, all the criteria like the fluency, pronunciation, coherence, uh, and then the vocabulary. They'll be looking into that. So that's the most important part. We need to expand our ideas.
Mm, no, I mean, in this one, I mean, yes, we need to speak about who this person is, where he's from, how he learns the language, and explain why he can speak your language well. But then why this skill is the most important? Not this one. Not this
Because that
one.
one is just answer. We just need to state it in one answer. But then the most important one is explanation. Is they want to see whether are we able to relate to the context given.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because the keyword is that who
It's
speak your language well.
language
Then you
well.
need to explain, right? You need to explain why that person can speak your language well. So you know what? Normally, at the beginning, if you speak like this, if you speak from the first cue to the final cue, somehow you will stop at the third cue. Something like this, Harina. You see?
Mm.
You see? So you speak who this person is, where she from, and how he learns your language, and then you don't have enough time to say the most important cue. And then, yeah, so you don't have the high score. You don't have the score you want because you cannot like elaborate, specify on the most important cue.
Okay.
So I want to ask in this case, how the sequence, how is the sequence of the cue? Should we start? How do we start? If you start from this queue to this queue to this queue, the final one, then we don't have enough time to explain. And sometimes the examiner may like stop you halfway, and then you don't have the space, you have the room to say the most important one. Any
Uh,
technique for this?
you
Mhm.
just have to just shorten as long as the keyword is there, which is um foreigner who speaks your language. As long as the keywords is there, that and you can just shorten our answer, I think.
Okay, let's try. Let's try first. Okay, so let's try. If you speak this cue, you try to shorten, and then I try to calculate if it's 2 minutes. Is it okay for you?
Yeah, yeah. So I say all of it, right? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, you say oh.
Okay,
No worries.
okay,
Let's just a
okay,
test. Just a test.
okay.
Okay, so now you have 2 minutes to talk about your topic. 2 minutes start.
The person that who's a foreigner that speaks my language, her name is Bazooka, and she is from Japan. She learns my language, which is English, through the courses that we are taking in university, which is teaching English as a second language. She's able to speak well in the language due to the surrounding where everyone speaks English. So from there, she's able to pick up the vocabulary words and speak to me using that language.
Mhm.
Yeah, can only
Okay,
say that much.
that's it.
Okay, I have to speak more. I'm
Yes,
so nervous.
yeah. You see.
Well, I guess
Okay, okay. So I understand how you feel. So it's a little bit nervous, and it's like too straight away. It's too straightforward. No worries. At least you have somebody in mind to talk about. But I think maybe your language is English, or language your language is
Tamil,
Ballet.
but then we speak English at home. We don't speak Tamil.
Oh, you don't speak Tamil.
We don't speak our mother tongue. We only speak in English only. Although our mother tongue is Tamil.
Oh, is it Tamil is like the same as Malay? No, right?
No, Malay is spoken by the Muslims. Tamil is spoken by the Indians.
Oh, I see. I see. I see. Okay, right. All right. For this one, you see, if you speak something like this, first of all, second, where she's from, how she learns the language, and explain. Sometimes you need to really rush, and sometimes you don't know how to like combine these skills together. So the most important cue here, I think we can change the location of this queue. How?
So how do I explain it more is why he or she can speak my language well.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So for this one, I will like separate into this. This is the introduction. First of all, you need to have an introduction. For introduction like this, you can say something like, well, there, there, the person, I want the foreigner, I want the, let me say, okay. The foreigner who speak my language very well is a cold, maybe Japanese girl who is for example, and specializing in, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
first of all, you need to have an introductory sentence, and you can use relative clause in this. Mhm. So this is well, you can start well, the person who blah 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 that I want to share with you. The person the I want to share with you is want to share with you is who is a blah blah blah. So that is the introductory sentence, and then that is your first cue for introduction. Now let's come to your body.
For
Body.
my body is
For your
yeah.
body, you need to have a linking phrase. Mm-hmm.
So like besides that, furthermore.
Mm-hmm. So you can have some like something like in terms of speaking of when it comes to right when it comes to where she's from. Speaking of her hometown, so need to you need like to notify the examiner to signal the examiner that you move to another queue. And so it is really well organized. You know that you started with, well, the person I want to share with you today is somebody who is my classmate during university time, for example. Speaking of her hometowns, so you need to have some linking phrase in order to start the next skill. When it comes to so for these two Q, in order to make it a really good one, I will combine the last Q into this. You get it? You see? Mm-hmm. So I can make sure that I can speak the most important Q throughout my speaking. So I can link. I linked. Uh-huh. So I talk about where she's from, and then I will try to link a little bit the reason why I can speak this language well. That person can speak language well. For example, you say your friends come from Japan. Your friends come from Japan, right?
Yes.
And maybe she has a reason why she moved here, even though she came from Japan, but maybe she pursued her academic journey in Malaysia, and at that time she had chance to to know about your mother tongue, for example. So you try to link two Q together. You get what I mean? Uh-huh. And then when it comes to how she learned the language, then you link with this Q again. So you see the most important Q is like covered through your topic, through your talk.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. You get it?
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, let me see. Oh, and also, let me see. So this technique is called cue blending, which is very important in IELTS part two. Cue blending skill. Let me share the screen for you. So you see, here's the cue blending. You try to connect all the cue with the most important cue. So in order to make sure you don't miss the most necessary information.
So like other Q1, other Q2, other Q3. So how
Mm-hmm.
do we? I'm still confused with this.
Mm-hmm. So you see here, for example, uh, this this is the simple for you. So you see here, first of all, this is the body, who this person is. Maybe you can say where she's from, and then when you say who this person is, you can link, you can connect to the last cue. The last cue, you see here. Let me say. Let me share this one in order because it's already. You see, here's the sequence you have to speak, right?
Yeah.
So you can link like this. You put this to the next queue, to the second queue, and this one to the third queue. And the first one you leave for the introduction, meaning the four queue you try to integrate it into the second queue.
So it's like connecting one and another one to another.
It's like connecting. Okay, for example, now I give you a topic. Describe a field like this one that you felt strongly about. For this one, how do
Uh-huh.
you connect the cue? How do you apply
Mm,
the cue blending technique?
so first we need to have like a description. So for example, what is this? Describe a film. So for example, the description is a horror film, and then after that I link it like, okay, I watched the horror film, I watched specific date, and then
Oh no
with
no no no.
whom.
Let me specify a bit. For this one, can you tell me what is the most important cue among these
Why
four?
you explain why you felt strongly about it.
So then, how do you integrate it with the remaining cues? How do you
uh,
connect it?
mm, so I would tend to talk about the film. What film is it?
What film is
So
it?
so so example is a horror film, and
Mm-hmm.
then after that I would describe like where did I go and watch it, who did I go and watch it with,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the specific theater, and then I can describe the theater just one or two words. So I can say that there wasn't much of people there, was able to watch it in peace. And
Mm-hmm.
now why I felt, then after I connected like why I felt strongly about it, it was because I'm really into horror films.
Mm-hmm.
And since I realized that there wasn't many people there at the theater, I felt that it was easy, it was like a peaceful environment for me to watch it. So I can describe like the theater isn't well known for people coming, so I thought like I can just go in and watch movie.
Okay.
Or I can also talk about like I've seen reviews on the internet.
I seen review on the internet. Yeah. So it's about like the blending skill, is it? When you talk,
Yeah.
when you describe the time you watch this film or where you watch it, you need to know how to connect with the last cue. Like this, when you watch it and then you try to explain why you felt strongly about it. It's just like when you watch it, maybe you can explain you watch this film when you're feeling stressed, you have a lot of things, you have a lot on your plate, and maybe you stay up late for so many nights, so you feel stressed, for example, like that. And at that time you stumbled upon this film, and it's really help you to maybe recharge your batteries. Like the way you try to connect the remaining cues with the most important one, so that you can make sure everything is connected to each other. You
Mm,
understand, Harina? So it's
yeah.
is so in other words, it's about you blend the most important cue into the remaining ones. So in order to make sure you don't miss it.
Mm,
Mhm. So I think this one you need to practice more. Maybe you just do something like this. You just okay. You go to the speaking tab, part 2, part 2. Mhm. For example, describe your favorite singer or actor.
mm,
Can you go to the link, the Google Docs?
okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
You see in tab part 2, part 2.
Uh, it's the Google Docs that the one just now we did the. Okay, I see it. Okay. To describe your favorite singer or actor, who
Mm-hmm.
or he, she,
Okay,
as a
so
person.
can you write for me the outline of this speaking?
Okay.
Outline here. So for the intro, you say what? For the body,
Okay.
you say what?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just say it in point form.
Huh?
I
What?
just write it down in point form.
Yes, you just write down. Oh no no, you write the cue, the sequence of the cue, not about the
Yeah.
content, not about the content, but about the sequence of the cue.
Okay, okay, I know, get it now.
Mm-hmm.
Who or he, she. So who or he, she is comes first. What kind of personality and why I like it. I'll connect these two, blend these two,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and and then like what is this? Wait, what's that? So this comes first. What is her personality like? And then I will explain, blend these two. What kind of style of music or acting? Yeah.
You can just copy paste. Is okay also. Belong to acting. Why is like this? Acting belong to. Mm-hmm. So you have an intro like this in, and also the last cue, is it?
Yeah, so the first one is this, and then after that, this one, the second point, and the fourth point are blended. So, like, what is her personality is like? So, like, she's kind, and that is why I like her because I really want to be like her.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then
then is when I
yeah.
talk like her acting, like which industry does she belongs to.
Mm-hmm. And then you also say why you like him or her.
Also here, but then I already
So
like blended over here already.
you plan it. Yes, you plan it, but it's not enough. So you see, because it is the most important cue, so you need to speak more about that. So in this way, you try to link uh, the fourth cue into at least two cues. You got what I mean? So
Okay.
when you talk
Yeah.
about her personality, and then you link to why you like him or her. Then in terms of her style, her acting style, her music style, again you try to explain why. So then you have two reasons why you like that person. You got what I mean? So in this
Uh-huh.
case, the most important cue does not lie in one does not connect with one cue only, but is connect to other cues.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
all right. I get it.
Okay, okay, you got it. Okay, I will put my outline here for you to see. Wait. Where is it? Mhm. Yeah, I just put the image. Can you please read for me the suggested outline for the cue blank?
Okay. Um. So I need to. So the background would be who or she is, and then after that, the first point should be what kind of style her music or acting belongs to. So I give a little bit of description, like she's from the Hollywood or which industry, and then linking to why I like her or him, because I feel like I really love her natural acting in front of the
Mm-hmm.
camera. And then what is her personality? So like, okay, she's kind, she's very nice to her fans. Linking why I like him or her is because even though it can be a very high person with a lot of achievements, but you should always be humble. So that is why I like her and I really wish to be like her. So my final reflection could be like, I really want to be like her. As a teacher, no matter how big my achievement is, I really want to be a good teacher to the students, something like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you can describe, yes. So please follow this outline when you do the speaking in order to make sure everything is well organized and seems like it's coherent. Okay, it's coherent and logical. All right, so now let's move to the next questions. You scroll down. Describe a short journey you often make that you really do not like. So how do you sequence? How do you organize the ideas here? Oh,
Okay.
you can type
So
out
my
the outline.
background. Mm, where did I go? And then so my point would be what kind of why did I go there? Uh,
Mhm.
and why do I not like the trip? And then um, so I just give a little bit of description. So why did I
Mhm.
go there? And then linking to why I do not like the trip. And then when did I go there? Point number two. When when did I go there? And and
I think when did you go there should be point one, right? Should be
uh,
point one.
yeah. So when did I go there? And then later I connect it also.
Mm-mm, yes. Yes, correct.
And why did I go there? Also I connect it. Uh, mm, so I would have the description and the linking, and then here also description and the linking. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Yeah, correct. Good. Good job. I think you understand about it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you understand it?
Yes. So it's like
Yeah.
over here, like, so where did I go? So for example, I went to Bali, Indonesia. So I went last December. Why I didn't
Mhm.
like the trip is because I was sick the entire time at the trip, and I didn't really enjoy. I
Hey,
went there for a
wait. I'm sorry to interrupt, but this one is a short journey. Is it a short journey? Is it near your place when you go to Bali?
no second. Oh, okay. It's a short journey means then like a
Maybe
picnic like that.
short journey means like, for example, if I talk about short journey, I speak about the journey I make from home to the nearby grocery, for example. You understand?
So
Or my
like could it be
friend,
like a picnic?
mm,
You went with the
y-
family?
yes, you go for picnics of something not far, not too far away from your house. You see, for example, when you commute to work, is it far away from your house?
1 hour journey.
1 hour journey, then you may think something more about, yeah. So commute to work, yes, you can talk about it. You can maybe complain about the vehicles, complain about the noise, pollution. For me, if I talk about the journey I make from my house to a nearby grocery store, and I would say something like I have to go in the middle of the day when the sun is beating down and the heat is just unbearable. And also there is no public transportation nearby, so I need to walk the whole way, and also I need to carry tons of bags loaded with vegetable, grocery for the whole family for the whole week. Yeah, something like that. You understand? So it's not about a long journey, a tour. It's not about going to another country, but let's think about some journey you often make. It's a short one, but you really do not like. Or you can also take my idea.
Could it be like going to the market?
Yes, correct. It's
I
wet,
don't like
right?
to go there because of the smell.
Yes, correct. You can speak about that. All right.
uh,
So now I will leave you some time. You will speak about this topic. Describe a short journey you often make that you do not like. Okay. So for this one, I just create a Padlet. You know Padlet?
uh,
Let me see. Let me just speak Marina speaking. Let me share the screen for you. This is the maybe in a window. Yeah. So here's the Padlet link. You know about this?
uh, no, I didn't.
Uh-huh. Okay, so you see the plus here. You click on it and then you click on this link. You see, you have audio recorder here. Mhm. And you try to record your speaking in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. And if you are not satisfied with it, you can discard and restart until you feel like, okay, I have prepared everything. So now I just play back and save. And then I can save it. And then I will go to this link to listen to your speaking part. Is it okay for you?
Okay. So where do I
Okay.
get the link for the Padlet?
Okay, so first of all, I think you need to like spend some time brainstorming a little bit. Maybe you write down some key points on this link, and then after that, you may try to record. If you feel like okay, I'm satisfied with this response, then you can publish. Let me share
Okay.
the screen for you. Share not the screen, but it's the link. It's the link. Yeah, I just share the link.
Okay.
Can you? Yes, can you go to this link? Can you get
Yeah.
access to it?
Yeah, I can.
Mhm.
Okay. And then
Okay, so now I will give you some time. 7 minutes, okay for you?
can hold on. Uh, so when I want to start recording, I click on the camera, right?
No, you click on the plus. You see there is a
Yeah.
plus sign.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Uh-huh. And then you click on link next in the left
Uh,
part of the camera.
okay. And then there's a
Mhm.
video recorder.
Video or audio, okay.
Audio.
It's up to
Okay.
audio recorder. If you want to
So
show your face, okay.
okay.
If you don't want,
So
it's okay.
once I'm ready, then I can. Okay.
Yes, you just publish. You can listen again, and you feel like, yeah, I don't like this. You can discard. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I leave some time for you to practice, okay?
Okay.
Mm, okay.
Uh, to go to the market. So where did I go there? When did I go there? Where did I go? So I say I go to the market. So say I went to the market. And when did I go there? Why do I not? I usually go there every Saturdays with my parents. Don't like it because the smell of the meat. For example, the smell of the fish. Mm, as well as it's crowded. On the weekend. And then why do I not like the trip? And linking also. Why did I go there? To do our marketing, to do our daily marketing. And I did not like it due to the bad order, which brings me a sort of discomfort. And no, the reason is a sort of discomfort. And okay, sort of discomfort. And and yeah, so discomfort. Okay, so I must stop that. Now start recording. So, I usually head to the market. The place I usually go. So the place that I would usually go is the market, and the reason I hate to go to the market. Let's start again. So the place that I usually start again. Place that I usually go to is the market. I usually head to the market during the weekends, especially every Saturdays. And I do not like to head to the market due to the smell of the meat at the market. For example, the smell of the fish, as well as it's crowded during the weekends. I usually go there to the market to do my daily marketing. Somehow the place doesn't brings me the comfort due to the bad odor that gives me a nauseous smell when I'm at there. So the place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually do go to the market every Saturdays or Sundays. I do not like to go to the market due to the smell of the meat, for example, the smell of the fish, as well as it's usually crowded during the weekends. I usually go to the market to do my daily marketing, but somehow the place doesn't brings me a comfort due to the bad odor, as well as how it's often filled with people that gives me a slight of difficulty in breathing. So, so the place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually do go to the market every Saturdays or Sundays. I do not like to go to the market due to the smell of the meat, for example, the smell of the fish, as well as it's usually crowded during the weekends. I usually go to the market to do my daily marketing, but somehow the place doesn't brings me a comfort due to the bad odor, as well as how it's often filled with people that gives me a slight of difficulty in breathing. The place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually go to the market every weekends, especially on the Saturdays. Now, the reason I do not like to go to the market is because the smell of the meat. For example, the smell of the fish that gives me a sort of a nauseous feel. I usually go to the market to conduct my daily marketing, but somehow the place doesn't really gives me the comfort due to the odor, which brings me a sort of a feel of um, a discomfort in me. The place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually go to the market every weekends, especially on the Saturdays. Now, the reason I do not like to go to the market is because the smell of the meat. For example, the smell of the fish that gives me a sort of a nauseous feel. I usually go to the market to conduct my daily marketing, but somehow the place doesn't really gives me the comfort due to the odor, which brings me a sort of a feel of a discomfort in me. Okay, I'm done in submitting it.
Okay, let's see. Oh, you finished. Oh, so fast. Oh, why it's only 45 seconds?
I can't really elaborate it much though.
Oh no, cannot 45 seconds. It
So I
doesn't.
have to.
Yeah, you need to speak at least 1 minute and 45 seconds. One
Okay.
voicing. Can you try?
Yeah, can I try
O-
to?
Okay, okay. You can delete this part. Yes, correct. Okay.
So the place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually go to the market every weekends, either on the Saturdays or the Sundays. And I usually head to the market with my parents. The market is just a stone's throw away from my house, so it isn't much of a difficulty for me to travel to the market with my parents. Somehow the marketplace doesn't really gives me the comfort due to the smell of the meat. For example, the smell of the fish, as well as how it's crowded, even though it's on the weekends. For example, it will be too noisy with sellers trying to sell their items. And customers trying to bargain their price with the sellers will be extremely noisy, which gives me a sort of a discomfort. Um, I usually go to the market to do my daily marketing, and somehow I do dislike heading to the market because of the bad order. For example, as how the smell of the fish, as how I stated earlier, it just doesn't. It gives me a smell that. Let's see, this is. So why I do not like it is because of the smell. So why I do that because why I do not like it is because of the crowded. So an example, sellers are trying to control that when they try to say bargaining. So the place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually go to the market on the weekends, either on the Saturday or Sunday. I head to the market with my parents, and I usually head early in the morning to avoid the crowd. Despite heading early in the morning, somehow I really do not like to go to the market because of the bad odor, especially the smell of the meat. For example, the smell of the fish, which gives me a sort of a nauseous feel. Um, and gives me a sort of a discomfort in me. And I usually head to the market to do my daily marketing. For example, to buy the vegetables, to buy the meat, since the price there is cheaper compared to buying at the supermarket. But as how I stated earlier, somehow it isn't my cup of tea. Going to market isn't my cup of tea due to how it is often noisy, which invest sellers are trying to sell out their items, and as well as customers trying to bargain, is usually very noisy, and surrounded by the noisy place just doesn't gives me a proper comfortable feel in me. So yes, heading to the market is definitely not a place that I would like to go in the future. Okay, I'm done. Okay, I am done. So the place that I would
Okay, let me see. All right, 1 minute 50 seconds. Let's hear. How do you feel?
I've just run out of ideas. That's the thing. It's
Right.
because the second and the third point is like
Yeah. Okay.
the second third point, like okay, I don't know, like okay, so for example, like when did I go there, and also why I do not like the trip. So here I already explained, and then again in point two also we need to explain why I do not like the trip. So I'm like, I don't want to repeat the same thing, but then this way I actually run out of ideas. Like again, you have to say why you do not like the trip.
Mm, yes. Why I do not like the trip? Let me see. Smell me for example. Daughters. Maybe you take another factor. You tell about another things. For example, in point one, you talk about the smell of the fish. You don't like the unpleasant scent. You don't like unpleasant smell. Everything is so dirty, so you do not like it. When maybe when you talk about when you go there, you can say the time that you are not, you feel lack of energy. You don't have to, you have lack of energy. You don't like to go, for example, in the middle of the day, right? At the time you feel so bored, or sometimes it's in the morning when you feel so sleepy. You get what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Then you try to link with it because you talk about time, so you need to talk why you do not like it. You need to link. Okay, let me see if I.
To do my So the place that I would usually go to is the market. I usually go to the market on the weekends, either on the Saturday or Sunday. And I hit to the market with my parents. And I usually head early in the morning to avoid the crowd. Despite heading early in the morning, somehow I really do not like to go to the market because of the bad odor, especially the smell of the meat, for example, the smell of the fish, which gives me a sort of a nauseous feel, um, and gives me a sort of a discomfort in me. And I usually head to the market to do my daily marketing. For example, to buy the vegetables, to buy the meat, since the price there is cheaper compared to buying at the supermarket. But as how I stated earlier, somehow it isn't my cup of tea. Going to market isn't my cup of tea due to how it is often noisy, which invest sellers are trying to sell out their items, and as well as customers trying to bargain, is usually very noisy, and surrounded by the noisy place just doesn't gives me
a proper, comfortable feel in me. So, yes, heading to the market is definitely not a place that I would like to go in the future.
Um, yeah, you use something, but then you know what? I don't feel the connection between when you go there and why you do not like the trip. Uh-huh. Maybe you talk about the key point here is that you have to connect. You have to find a common feature when you go there. Maybe because of the time, so it make you do not like the trip. But in this case, if you talk about the smell, so then maybe you just focus on the smell. For example, like what bothers me the most is the smell, right? The market sells a lot of fresh meat and fish, and the bad order can be really overwhelming, especially in the weekend, right? Um, you can say like sometimes I you feel so uncomfortable when I for example when I pass the seafood section, you got, and on top of that, the market is always packed with people, especially at the weekend, which makes it even more stressful to move around. So in this case, can you like, because you can only go to the market at the weekend, and in the weekend the market is always packed with many people, right? And like, and so you everything is so uncomfortable, and everything is so stressful to move around. Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Right.
so it's like stresses me out in trying to search the items that I want.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, correct. And why you go there? Uh-huh. Why you go there? So
I
you can say something like, you know that even though you hate it, even though you do not enjoy this journey, but you know this is something you have to do every single week, right? Because you have to buy the necessary grocery for the whole family, right? Vegetable, meat, and other essential for daily cooking. Mm-hmm. So you can say this one, but the unpleasant atmosphere really gets on my nerves. You know that idioms? But honestly, the unpleasant atmosphere really gets on my nerves.
yeah, so it's like really like a noise. Yeah.
Yes, so it is an idiomatic. I just put on your link. I just put on your Google Doc. Uh-huh. So maybe you can say like, I wish we could just buy something in the supermarket instead. Maybe you suggest a solution, right? I wish you just go to the supermarket instead, where everything is cleaner and better organized. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. And for the smell, you can say something like bad odor. Bad odor, bad, or you know that word? Let me say it.
Yes.
Uh-huh.